So the whole concept of what we're doing today is a little bit different to normal kingfish fishing. We're in a big estuary system and we're fishing open water. We're going to be fishing, I suppose, the edge of drop-offs more so, but drop-offs that are coming off weed banks that would have squid and garfish and species like that along them. And these kings are just patrolling these edges. So you've got to use your sounder to locate the fish, and then we're going to tow baits back and forth. You get random bites, but you know, you can find that pile of fish and you might get a double hookup if you're lucky. I've got a couple of outfits here, not too much gear in the boat. I've got my favorite kingfish outfit, and this is my multi-purpose catch a school tuna, jig for trumpeter offshore, do everything. Shimano Speedmaster 12 on the TEREZ 6.6 MH rod. It's really versatile. It's got that sort of slightly softer tip, heaps of poke in the bottom end, and it's not overly heavy. I like to go gently on my kingfish, which I'm hoping I can show you when we get one on. The other one we have is a spin outfit, STRADIC 6000 on a TEREZ 6'9" rod. Now the reason I'm showing you two different outfits is because there is actually a couple of different ways you can fish. I like to free spool the bait just a little bit when the fish eats it before we come tight, which is hard to do on a spin reel. I have a technique which I can show you, so you can use that. But for the most part, obviously the great thing about this lever drag reel, we can have it in free spool. Fish pulls line. When you get the bite, you just squeeze up that drag and it will set the hook in the corner of his jaw. Really simple. From there, we're gonna run 80-pound leader to a circle hook. This is a 9.0 owner SSW inline, so straight shank, nice big wide gape, and that curved in tip. And it's got about 4 feet of 80-pound, as I said. All right, we unroll that. It's nice and neat. Get it nice and straight, take the loops out of it and the coil out of it to a solid crane swivel. That one's a mustard one. Really, really strong, doesn't need to be overly big. And from there, we've got a little Dacron loop on the line, and we're going to bridle rig our baits through the eye sockets. We're not sticking it through their eyes, just through their eye sockets. We're going to slow troll them through the key areas where these kingfish are going to be holding. Okay, so before we get to the fishing, I'll show you the last piece of the puzzle. One being the downrigger, and I'm going to show you how that works and why it's so effective. It's probably the most underutilized piece of fishing equipment, I believe, in this country, and those people who use them love them because they just know how good they are. Now, the next bit here is the rig. I've got one bait that's going to go on the downrigger, and that's got that leader that I showed you before. That's just going to clip straight to one of these outfits. And on these outfits too, I'm running 50-pound braid. You don't need to go that heavy if you don't want, but then I've got about a 6-meter shock leader. The idea of that is that if the kingy gets down near some rough bottom, you've got, you know, multiple meters of line that will, you know, give you better abrasion resistance than what the braid does over sharp bottom. So a long shock leader, 4 foot of leader to our bait, just clipped on like that. On this one, I'm going to clip this next rig on. This is my sinker bait. I've got a big sinker like this. It's got a bit of line through it that I've made up with 150-pound mono, swivel at that end. This clips on here. So the downrigger will run deeper. We can make it specific to where we want it. This guy will be out the back about 20 meters, and it's probably down about 4 or 5. And same thing, that bit of leader to the circle hook and the Dacron loop. It's a really simple form of fishing. It's a fun way to fish, and it's deadly effective. The other one you can do, I'm going to show you, is you can run your spin rod if you want. I'm only going to run 2 rods, but I want to show you how this works. And I know most people run spin gear these days. So if you want, with this, what you can also do if you don't have that long fixed sinker system, get a rubber band, loop that onto your line a couple of times, then quite simply get yourself a bomb sinker. And this is really handy too. Say you're fishing in deep water and you need a big sinker to get it down. But if I just grab this one here, and all you need to do is get the end of the rubber band, put that through the sinker like so. That's on the line, just like that. All right. Bonus to that is we can put whatever size sinker on that we want. So if I had 3 rods out, I could have one with a 4 ounce, one with an 8 ounce, one with a 12 ounce sinker. You're going to have your baits at all different depths to see what works. Our leader would go onto that, but also if this gets down near the bottom or anything happens, the sinker will just snap off. I'll even get to the point where as that fish gets near the boat, I'll often just grab the sinker, snap it off like that, and then just keep fighting the fish. It's really effective.